Guys, kind of have a impromptu video today. Got home and realized that we didn't have any water. So this morning before we left, everything was fine, no issues. Come home and now we have no water at all. Our well pump is underneath this lid here. We live in the country, so we have a well of our own. This doesn't make sense that we would have water and then absolutely no water. So to me, there is a mechanical failure at some point in this system. We did hear the pump running underneath here where our pump is, but no water. So there's obviously some reason why we're not getting water, and I highly doubt it's because the well's dry. It seems like that would be more intermittent. It wouldn't just be all of a sudden you have no water. So we're gonna be checking that out today and hopefully getting that fixed, fingers crossed. So I've already got the power off, but just to double check, I'm gonna go ahead and get my meter and just make sure we have no power at the box right here. This is where the power comes in. This would be 220 down here, so I'm gonna check all these for voltage. The pump shut off, so I'm pretty sure the voltage is off, but I'm just double checking. Yep. I was down here a little bit earlier when it was still running and I saw some bubbling right in this area here. So I believe what's happened is this fitting has corroded to the point where it broke, and because now there's air getting in here, the pump has lost its prime because it has to be a sealed system to pull the water up. And something that could have added to that was this rope here that supports some of the weight so the pipes don't slide down in the well shaft there. This, whatever this is here that has held it up for years, is coming through. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it on through and then figure out a different option here. I don't know what this was, but it's no good anymore. Oh boy.
Yummy.
So now we gotta somehow get this pump unhooked, and these pipes are gonna be really stiff. So this here will come apart, but this here, I'll have to take these hose clamps and I'll probably have to just cut them because it's going to be so stiff. There's that. So we're just going to split these lines here, put new ones on, cut our losses. There we go. Yeah, these are steel fittings here, and they just corroded over time. As you can see, that's loose, about to fall out. So the trick's going to be getting the threads out of that casting here. Hopefully I don't have to get a new casting or a new pump. But we're going to do these electrical lines, and then we'll pull this pump out and work on it where it's easier to get to. We're in need of a new pressure tank as well. I got a whole bunch of rust right there. Hey, actually, we have a hole. It's all the way through. So we might just pick up a new tank as well. These are going into the motor, these two here. These are braided lines, and these are solid copper. Corrosion. I'm going to use my calipers and check the sizes of these pipes to make sure I have some extra around. Yeah, and as I pull up on this line, I mean, I can pull it up, but it's pretty heavy and it pulls it back down. So we definitely need to fix the support here so we can help hold that line up. This just gets us in the ballpark. And the bottom one is... We'll get this pump out of here and try to get these fittings out, see if we need to get fittings or a pump. 16 by 30, 16 by 30. All right, the good thing is there's not a lot of threads in here to get out, but it's still gonna be fun probably getting them out. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this fitting out because we're gonna start with 2 brand new fittings. Oh, that one was about ready to go too. Wow, gone. Okay, that's all thread there because it cracked up. That one broke off right at the edge. So that's all thread that's got to come out. And this just has a little bit of thread. Okay, so I don't have any easy outs, especially ones this big. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to grind a little bit of the sidewall away enough that I can maybe get a chisel in and pop the rest of it out. Get a little spot here where we can weaken it. And then try to get in here with a chisel and pop that out of there. Luckily I had this little brush here. This might work really well. Cleaning up these threads. Well, those threads cleaned up nice. I think those will be okay. The other one's gonna be a different story. All right, let's see what we can do with this one. There we go. Look at that, peeling that right off. Look at that. I'm sure we damaged the threads a little bit, but I may have a pipe tap that big, or it might not be bad enough that we can salvage it. All right, so we damaged the threads a little bit there. I still think we could put a fitting in there without too much problem, but I might pick up a pipe tap at the store when I go get new fittings and just run a tap in there. But this one here looks really good. So I think we can salvage this pump for now with some new fittings. Okay. Got that one loose. That's good. Got that one loose. Woo! Okay, so this is full of water, which I don't think should be the case. So we're gonna try to drain it here. Feels like there's a bunch of water in here. I felt like this pressure tank has been bad for a long time, so this is the thing we needed to do anyway, so that's good. So we're just waiting for this pressure tank to drain out. Then we're gonna use this rope to hopefully yank it out of here. While this tank is draining, we're going to cut some new pipe here. 9-inch and a 7-inch.
This is nice.
I'm going to deburr the insides of these to make sure they don't go in any harder than they probably will because the weather's not super warm. Yeah, I think that's the same. We'll know when we go to put it on here in a minute. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, now I should be able to lower this down, and then that will keep it. Okay, you guys can pull it on up. This pipe has to go back on the tank once it's in here, otherwise it won't fit out. This hole. I think we're to the point now I need to run in and get some fittings in town, and then a new tank, new pressure tank, and then we'll be back to put all that back together. That tank has seen better days. All right, we're gonna take these fittings off this old tank because they're brass and they obviously won't rust, so that's a good thing. So take them off the old tank. Hopefully they'll fit on the new tank.
I got a seat.
So we're gonna get the fittings on this pump first. We got the threads cleaned up pretty well. I wasn't able to find a tap for this, so I'm gonna see how the new fittings thread in here. Yeah, they fit in really well, so I don't think it's gonna be an issue. The threads are in good enough shape. I didn't damage them too much. So we're gonna tape these fittings up, put them in here, and get this thing back together. I was gonna go with brass fittings, but the brass fittings were like 5 times the price of these galvanized steel. So this pump's not gonna last forever. I think these fittings will probably outlast the pump. Got the new fittings on now. We got to get our new pressure tank fixed up. Okay, I think we can use this brass pipe that we took off the old one. Yep, it'll work great. Put some tape on this, and we're gonna go ahead and tape the other end too, so we don't have to try to do it, because it'll be right to the edge of this plastic flange here. And once we get this in the well pit there, then we'll put this back on the end of this. But this whole thing won't fit through the hole if this is on there. Alright, so I bought this as a replacement for this massive piece of wood that was in there. And what I'm thinking about is using something like this, and then taking this here, going through that hole in the middle. And so then we'll hook all of our string to this to hold those pipes up. Alright, so I want to take a little bit of the extra off of this. Pretty tight. So now we're going to drill the center out and then put this eye bolt in there, and then that's what we're gonna, it's gonna support the lines for the pump. Alrighty, so this will go in like this, and I'm going to put a burr on there so that it can't back off. I'm gonna pinch those last threads so that the nut can't come off. There. Now it won't back off. This bolt isn't even long enough to go through all the cement, so I'm actually going to put a rope on here, a little short piece of rope, so I can hook to it, but it makes it all the way through the cement. I always cut my rope with some fire so that it doesn't fray. All right, so this should be long enough to hook to now. Should be, go all the way through the cement. Gonna drill a couple drain holes through here so that when it gets water in here in the winter, it doesn't crack this cap. Okay, took the pressure off of that so I can cut this pipe off, put the new one on. Sweet, went right on. I just shoved this in on first. I'll get it secured here. I just heated up the pipe a little bit, the hose, the plastic, and it slid right on. So I'm gonna have to back this up, hopefully, so that I can get it started on this other barb. There we go. Just wanted to fight. Just wanted to fight. There we go. I'm gonna jack this up just a little higher. Yep, it needs to take some more weight off. There we go. We got all of our weight off of the hoses now. So we're gonna tie this off. Okay, I think we are ready to try this. We got everything hooked up. We got our support here. We have our new tank installed. Everything looks good. Valves closed. Hose clamps checked. So, we're gonna go turn the power on. Let's step out of here for a minute, make sure nothing malfunctions, and I'll get electrocuted down here in the water. And then we'll see what we got. Yep. Turn that hydrant on. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try prime this. Okay, so we tried the pump and we don't have any, it's not pumping any water. They put this little valve up here because you can actually put water in there and primes this part of the pump right here, and then it will start drawing some water, hopefully. So we're getting a jug of water real quick. The water is filling up this, and it's also probably filling up the line that goes down. Okay, I think we're full. Put this cap back on. That sounds better. Tell her to shut the breaker back off because I got a little leak I gotta deal with.
Oh my
word. This piece is just about no good. Let's see if I got another piece that we can put in there. If not, we'll use this for tonight and then get one tomorrow. Alright, I was able to find some pipe I had around to make up this, to replace the end here is in bad shape, so it was leaking. So this is a new one. Hopefully this old piece comes out without too much heartache. Oh, broke that right off. Hitting it. Sweet. I can't believe I got that out that easy. Alright, thankfully we somehow was able to find all the parts that we need to fix this issue. And so now we're gonna put this together and hopefully be done once and for all.
I can't believe this. Mine has lasted this long.
Okay, for some reason our jet pump will not turn now. So the only thing I can figure to do is there must be something down in there, maybe from taking these threads out or something that got down in there and somehow stopped the propeller from turning. So I'm going to take these 4 bolts out of the back here, take the pump apart so I can look at it and see if I can figure out what the problem is.
There are 4 small bolts that have to be taken out of the back of this casting to be able to separate it and access the impeller.
Alright, we got this split apart. Now we're just going to try to figure out if we can find out if we can get it rotating or if we have to take that faceplate off yet and see what's behind it. Get this seal off of here. We're going to remove this because the motor is not turning when we turn the power on for some reason now, so I've got to figure out what's stopping it. So we got to get in there so we can at least turn it manually and see if there's something bound up in there. I'm afraid it might have sucked up a piece of thread when we dug all the threads out of this casing there. Alright, so we took this apart and there was a piece of thread in there. So now we got the faceplate put back on and now we're ready to put the seal, wipe this down, and we're ready to put the seal back on and bolt this back together. That tiny little bit of metal got in there and literally stopped it from turning.
He said, guys, get over here.
He said that's why I came. No, we got it. I'll go get more if that's not enough.
If he has to.
Alright guys, I apologize, my camera died last night, but we finally got this wrapped up about midnight and got water back in the house, which is great. So I just wanted to show you an overview of what we got. So we got a new tank in, got it all plumbed back in, and then everything's plumbed back down to the pump. Everything came out great once we got through all the problems that we kept running into. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, good luck with all your projects.